Hey everyone! Before I get into this video, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. I've only made a couple of videos so far, and your support has been absolutely phenomenal. You guys have liked, subscribed, and shared my videos, left encouraging comments, and some constructive criticism. People say that YouTube is about creators, the viral videos, and the views. But I disagree. YouTube is about you, the viewer, the subscriber, the commenter. YouTube doesn't exist without you. So from an average schmo who loves fixing things, thank you for all your support. Oh, and for those of you who are really into the Millennium era Macs, Aunt Mac will be returning in the next video. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. This is a Tandy 200, a Radio Shack portable computer initially released in 1984, retailing at $999 US. The Tandy 100, 102, and 200 were affordable mobile computers of the era, the 200 being one of the first notebook form factors. By today's standards, these look and feel like a children's toy from 20 years ago. And although fairly crippled in comparison to the Tandy, MS-DOS, and PC compatibles, these Tandy 1 and 200s came with basic, text, telecom, address, and schedule baked into ROM. These proved to be popular amongst journalists, who could even electronically send text documents to the office via the built-in modem. There were far less Tandy 200 units produced in comparison to its predecessor, the 100 series. These units are somewhat rare, and to find one in such excellent condition like this is even more rare. This unit has no visible yellowing, and aside from heavy dirt on the lid and scuffs on the bottom, this unit looks almost mint. The first order of business is to clean up the corrosion from the old batteries. The corrosion was nowhere near as bad as it could have been, considering how old the batteries were. The springs and battery contacts were not deteriorated at all, which is a complete shock. Perhaps they were made of some better metal than back then. Inside was a very small amount of black toner dust, which was easily removed with compressed air. I suspect this unit got very little actual use and probably spent most of its life in storage. The batteries inside said "not for resale" and were Duracell OEM, with an expiry date of 1993, suggesting they could have been manufactured 10 years earlier in 1983 and included with the original Tandy purchase. If that's the case, it's possible that this Tandy has seen less than 16 hours of total lifetime use, its maximum rated life on a set of 4 AA cells. Considering the lack of visible damage from the batteries and overall impeccable condition of the computer, I thought for sure it would fire up with a fresh set of batteries. And it did. Almost. While it fired right up, only the arrow keys worked. You couldn't enter any program and you couldn't type anything. I also noticed that if you pressed the power button to turn it off, it would display 2 horizontal lines and emit a faint buzzing sound until you pulled the batteries. So time to take it apart and see what's going on. Disassembly was extremely easy. 4 screws, carefully unclip the 2 halves, unplug ribbon cables. A tip for anyone new to vintage computing: if you want to avoid damaging the housing when opening any electronics, in addition to not using a screwdriver, do not use those plastic opening tools that come free with iPhone repair kits. A thin metal spudger is what you need. Slip between the 2 halves and wiggle, don't pry. This will get your clips unclipped without breaking and avoid getting nicks in the housing. The inside is absolutely immaculate. It looks almost brand new. With the keyboard removed, the problem is obvious. The section of keyboard near the battery compartment had corroded traces. I'm not sure if this is also causing the power button horizontal line issue. I scraped off the corrosion and protective coating until I got clean copper. Using a multimeter, I was able to do a continuity test and verify the bad traces. I then used solder and some no-clean flux to retin the traces. To repair the traces, I took some scrap stranded wire, wrapped 2 strands together to match the appropriate width of the trace, and soldered the jumper wire in using a knife to break the excess wire. Repeat for each trace, now functionally as good as new. Some might say you need to coat over the traces, but the copper is now fully covered with solder, so I think it's fine. Lastly, I removed the onboard battery. There is only a small hint of leakage, which is fantastic. These things can really destroy a PCB if they leak. Since the motherboard is in such good condition, I didn't really feel the need to remove it completely. I desoldered the battery from the top side. Those of you who are subscribed know I don't believe in replacing internal batteries on computers which are not in regular use. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, now's the time to hit that button. A delightful surprise upon removing the expansion cover was that this particular unit included 2 24K RAM upgrade modules, which would have cost an additional $249.95 US at initial purchase. These genuine Tandy RAM modules are exceptionally rare these days. Fortunately, for those of you who still use these units, there is at least one enterprising individual who has reverse engineered and is producing replica modules on eBay. I still can't believe how immaculate this unit is. For its age, it looks almost brand new. I do want to make some videos on using the Tandy 200, although at this point my queue is pretty full of other restorations to do. I am making some significant changes with my day job, in hopes to transition and focus more on making videos on vintage computing, unique hardware, and circuits. You can support this ambitious endeavor by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. And as always, thank you so much for your continued support.